Hello kids, how are you all? Welcome to today's amazing session. This is Sweta Roy, your English master teacher at Vedantu, and today we are going to deal with an amazing lesson from your NCERT Class 9 English book called Moments, and the name of the lesson is The Happy Prince, which is by Oscar Wilde. So let's move ahead with today's session. I'm sure you're going to all enjoy this amazing piece of work by Oscar Wilde. So, Vedantu Pro subscription is still there for you. So, kindly do subscribe. Those who have still not subscribed, the link is there in the description box. Use the coupon code SWRPRO to avail the discount of 2699. And these are the steps that you need to follow. Select grade, select target, get subscription, and choose your plan. Use the coupon code SWRPRO, right, to avail the discount. And these are the amazing features for the Vedantu Pro subscription. That is live classes by India's best master teachers, personalized attention in the class, full recordings of all the classes along with notes, assignments, tests, and more. And about the curriculum, it's completely in sync with your school curriculum. And of course, you have long-term and micro courses. And this covers one chapter at a time. So it's just for you guys. At least 2 live classes for each chapter every month. That is there for micro course. And of course, you have complete crash course before exams to revise your entire syllabus. And the best part is, you have the freedom to make your own study plan and curriculum. Apart from this, you also have test series, assignments, learning material, and regular performance report. So this is the right option for you all. Kindly avail this option by having the by using the coupon code that is there, and yes, the link is available. So what are you waiting for, guys? Come on, hurry up and do subscribe and become a part of our Vedantu family. So the chapter that we are going to deal with is the Happy Prince. Now, before moving ahead with the lesson, very simple question to all of you. What, according to you, is happiness? So the name of the chapter, the title is The Happy Prince. So what, according to you, is happiness? Do comment right now in the chat box. And this session we have divided into 2 parts. Session 1 deals with the analysis of the story along with the important questions, and session 2 has Menti, and in that session we are going to clear all your doubts, and of course we will have Menti. So do watch this session throughout, and do after that come to the Menti session. That would make your preparation complete. Moving ahead with Oscar Wilde. So Oscar Wilde, just information, he was very good looking, yes, and he was Irish poet. Okay, he was an Irish poet, and after writing in different forms throughout the 1880s, the early 1890s saw him as one of the most popular playwrights in London. So is there any other prose piece that you have read by Oscar Wilde? I think you must have read The Selfish Giant. Yes or no? Please do comment in the chat box right now. If you have you read Selfish Giant? So Oscar Wilde's stories are wonderful. Selfish Giant is an amazing read, and so is The Happy Prince. So now let us see. Before beginning with the lesson, I would like to share a small quote with you. And the quote says, as I already mentioned, that what according to you is happiness. So I hope you have already written that answer. And now let me share with you my opinion and a quote, right? Which says, true happiness lies in making others happy. Do good and the best will return to you from the Almighty's side. So this is the quote that I want you to think about. Yes. And now we will start with the Happy Prince. Now, who was this Happy Prince? There was, in a city, there was a high, statue. And that was the statue of the Happy Prince. You can see, you can look at the statue. It was completely, gilded with thin leaves of fine gold. And you can see the eyes. The eyes had two bright sapphires, and a large red ruby glowed on his sword hilt. So you can see over here the sword hilt. It has a large red ruby. One night, what happened? Uh, there was a little swallow, and he was migrating. His friends had already gone to Egypt, and he was also going there, but he decided to go to Egypt, and but he stayed behind. He was, however, left behind. The bird kept on flying on its way to Egypt, and at night it reached the city where this happy prince was standing. Okay, and it also wanted to stay somewhere. So what did it do? The bird saw this huge statue of the happy prince, and it thought of, okay, let me stay there in this, near the statue. It stopped there and sat in between the feet of the statue of the happy prince. Okay, so vocabulary, this is just to help you out, for some difficult words that you may have, trouble in. Swallow is a tiny bird. Gilded means to cover, and hilt is, as I showed you in the picture also, the handle of a weapon, and alighted means descended. Now, as the bird was about to sleep, as it was putting under, you can see from the picture, okay, its head under the wing, it's just about to sleep, okay. Suddenly, a large drop of water fell on it. Now, this made the bird surprised, right? From where is the water coming? Neither it was raining, nor was it rainy season, but still he could feel the drop of water, right? The swallow could not believe it because the sky was not cloudy and the stars were still shining, obviously. So, no cloudy, no rain. Just then again, another drop fell. You can see from the picture, okay? As soon as the bird looked up, what did it see? See, the bird is climbing up, and it saw the water coming from the eyes of the prince. Okay, so the bird looked at the face of the happy prince, and it was looking beautiful, majestic. Okay, the little bird's heart was filled with pity because of the weeping, statue. Okay, and it asked who the statue was. The statue replied, it was the happy prince. Ironical, right? Happy and weeping. Let's see how it goes about. Then the prince told its story to the sparrow that I was alive and I had a human heart and I was very happy. I lived happily and I died happily. But now I am dead and they have now made me into a statue, and I am so at such a height that I can see all the ugliness, the misery, the sorrows of the world, and my heart is filled with sorrow. It's filled with remorse, tears, right? And I cannot but weep. Okay, so this was the story that the prince shared with the happy, the sparrow. Okay. Question time, guys. Why do the courtiers call the prince the happy prince? Is he really happy? What does he see all around him? Okay. What, is it not solid gold? Said the swallow to himself. He was too polite to make the remark. So this is when he realized that it is not solid gold. The statue is not solid gold. He said to himself, what? The statue is not solid gold, but he did not ask him. Now the statue continued its story, and he continued that he can see a poor woman, and she was very thin, she was very tired, and her hands were also rough. And then the woman was, what was she? She was a seamstress. That means she used to weave. Okay, she was very, very, very tired, and she was very thin as well. So now it's time for some vocabulary. Okay, as you know, curious means strange, drenched means soaked with water, misery is sadness, coarse is rough, seamstress, as I told you, who lives by sewing. So this woman used to sew the clothes and she lived. made her living. In a bed, her little boy was ill. He has fever and he's asking his mother to give oranges. But his mother has nothing. She's a poor lady. She could not afford to give her or give him oranges, only river water. So he kept on crying. So the happy prince now requested the swallow to actually take out the ruby and give it to that lady. Okay. The swallow replied that no, I need to go to I need to go to Egypt. My friends are waiting there. But the happy prince said he requested to kindly stay with him for one night and be his messenger. Thus, the sparrow thus took the stone from the happy prince's sword and he flew away over the town. And then when the sparrow reached the woman's house, the boy was suffering from fever, okay? And that is why he could not go to sleep. So the swallow, what did it do? It put the, ruby on the table. The mother was very tired and she had fallen asleep. After keeping the ruby on the table, the swallow went near the boy, okay? And what was he doing? Flapping the wings, right? And therefore the boy who was actually feeling hot now could feel the cool breeze because of the flapping of the wings of the swallow, and he went off to sleep. Question time, guys. Why does the prince send a ruby for the seamstress? What does the swallow do in the seamstress's house? Very important. Now the swallow again came back and the bird was also feeling warm. Now this is important, right? Because the weather was cold, but still the bird was feeling warm. How was the bird feeling warm? Because remember, it had flapped the wing. And why did it flap the wing? Because he wanted to put the baby to sleep. So therefore, he did something good, right? So in return, he also got something good and he was feeling contented and also he was feeling the warmth and he was saved from the cold outside, right? And that is what the prince told him. Next morning, again, the swallow took a bath and thought that that night he would leave and reach Egypt. And he was very happy. Vocabulary, sword hilt, you know now the handle of the sword. Pedestal means raised platform. Mast means ship, sail of the ship. Tossing is turning left and right. Prospect is thought of something. Moving ahead with the story, and now the happy prince again said to stay him for a night. The prince now tells the story of a young man. So the first story was about the seamstress. You have to remember the different stories, okay? And now he's telling about a young man and he was sitting on the desk. He wanted to write, he was actually, had all his papers spread around him and he was trying to finish off a play for the director of the theater. But he was feeling too cold to write because there was no fire. And hunger also made him faint. So now, what did the happy prince say to the swallow? That his eyes were made of, remember, sapphire stones. So he said that give these stones to him. One of the stones you can give to him. The swallow did accordingly. The swallow carries out the order and he delivers the sapphire to the young writer. And he's quite amazed. He thought that, oh, maybe they have liked my play and some admirer has given me this, gifted me this, sapphire. For whom does the prince send the sapphire and why? This is the question that you all will answer right now. Vocabulary. Steeple is high tower of the church. Garret is small dark room. Withered is worn out. Violet is a kind of flower. And pomegranate is a fruit. Next morning, the bird flew down the harbor and sat on a mast of a ship. I told you what does a mast mean. And then finally again he said, now I'm going to bid goodbye to you. Again the prince said, please don't go, stay for one more night. And the swallow again agrees. And this time What did the happy prince say? That he said about a story of a little match girl, and she was very poor, had no shoes, no stockings, and also her little head is bare. So now this time the happy prince says he had another sapphire in another eye. He said, now give this sapphire to the matchstick girl because all her matchsticks had fallen into gutter, and now if she goes back like that, then her father is going to beat her up. And the swallow did accordingly. First, initially, he said that how should I give this sapphire to the matchstick girl? You will be then blind, because that was his eyes, remember? So if I give one of the eyes was already given and the next eye is now going to give. So if that would be the case, then you would be completely blind. But the happy prince said, no problem, give it. And the little girl was very happy to see the stone, and she went home happily. And then the happy prince said, now you can go to Egypt. But this time something strange happened. The swallow, who was so long eager to go to Egypt, now said, I will not leave you. Now you are blind. You cannot see anything. But I am going to stay with you forever and be your messenger forever. And she slept on the feet of the happy prince. And then the next day, he sat on the shoulder of the prince and told him stories that he saw in the strange lands, because now the prince could not see. And the prince said to the swallow, why are you only telling me about the wonderful stories? I know that many people are there who also suffer. So I think you should tell me about them as well. So he asked the swallow to go and let him know what he saw while flying over the city, especially the stories relating to the miseries of the people, so that he can help them out. And then the swallow flew over the great city, saw the rich making merry and in the beautiful houses, while the beggars were sitting at the gates. Okay. And he flew into the dark lanes. He saw the white faces of the starving children. And he flew back and told these stories to the prince. Okay. Now the question, what does the swallow see when it was flying over the city? So all of these questions are very important. So please go through the video very carefully and answer these questions. Now the happy prince said that his whole body was covered with gold. So yes, the swallow can take up the tiny pieces of gold and give to all the people who are in need. Okay. And then after the whole body was gradually, picked off, now the happy prince was no longer looking happy, but it was looking very dull and grey, because the gold was all, scratched off, and it was given to the people. The snow came, and then the snow became frost. Now the poor swallow grew colder and colder, but she still refused to leave the prince, because both of them loved each other. Especially the swallow loved the prince now. And he picked up the crumbs outside the baker's door when the baker was not looking, and he tried to keep himself warm by flapping up the wings, but still he did not leave the happy prince. And at last, when the swallow was no more going to live, he was very cold, and he had just enough strength to climb up to the prince's shoulder once more. And now when the swallow was about to die, the swallow said that now I am going to the world of death. And he says that, can I kiss your hand? And then the prince replied that you must kiss me on my lips because I love you. And then the swallow went up, and he said that he is not going to the Egypt, not going to Egypt, but he is going to the world of death. And then he kissed the happy prince, and immediately fell down to the feet of the happy prince and died. Now the question that I have for you is, why did the swallow not leave the prince and go to Egypt? A very important and vital question. And as soon as the swallow fell down from the prince's shoulders at the feet of the prince, what happened to the prince? There was unusual sound that came from the statue. The sound was nothing but the breaking of prince's heart. Now why did his heart break? Because the swallow died. His beloved swallow, who had carried out all his messages and had done all the work to save the people from misery, had now died. But in the story it is said that it was very cold, it grew very cold and it broke into pieces. But actually what happened was the heart broke because the prince felt very bad. The prince was actually heartbroken, literally, right? And the next morning, what happened? The counselors, they saw that, oh my God, what happened to the happy prince? It looked so untidy. And the art professor of university said that now the statue was no longer looking beautiful and they should demolish it. And the heart of the happy prince, which was now broken into pieces, could not be melted. So what did they do? They could not demolish the heart of the happy prince. It could not be melted, and therefore they threw it in the dust heap. Coincidentally, they threw the heart of the happy prince where the swallow was also lying. How beautiful is the story, right? And vocabulary for you: swooped, fly very low, proclamation, order. Overseer is supervise, foundry means workshop forecasting methods. Now what happened in the heaven? God asked one of the angels to bring to him the most important or precious things from the city. And the angel brought two pieces of heart of the statue and the dead swallow bird. And he said that God said that the bird would now forever sing in the garden of the paradise, and the happy prince would stay in the city of gold and admire him. So this is a question, guys, for your homework. How did the swallow show obedience as the greatest virtue of living beings? So this I want you to all answer in the comment box, and I'll definitely take your answers in the Menti session. The two most precious things in the city were the happy prince and the swallow. Discuss. So let me discuss this question. So definitely what we come across in this lesson is, as I told you, as I began with the quote itself, that if you do good for others, definitely you will be rewarded. And yes, the happy prince and the swallow, they were definitely the most precious things because they served humanity. And happiness is what? The happy prince, right? So happiness is what? Contentment. When does contentment come? Full contentment, full satisfaction is only achieved when you do something for the others. And definitely both the happy prince and the swallow did the same, right? So both of them, the way they helped, so I also narrated how they helped people, right, to save them from misery. And the swallow constantly worked for the prince and definitely carried all his works meticulously. And both of them together did amazingly well for the well-being of the people and helped all those who were in need. And the swallow felt the warmth in the body, and it was because of doing good deeds. And finally both of them were rewarded. How did the happy prince discover true happiness? So what is true happiness according to you? That was the question that I asked you, right? So now I think you will be very well able to answer what according to you is true happiness and how does he spread it. So when he was actually, was he happy when he was actually staying, when he was alive, when he was a human? Was he really happy at that time? Or was he happier when he saw the miseries of the world and when he got the sparrow as his messenger and he acted out, you know, he acted in order to save the world from the misery, right? So true happiness is achieved when you actually sacrifice for the well-being of the people. So true happiness comes from doing good. It is sacrificing yourself, and then definitely you will be rewarded. So he had so long lived a very comfortable life. He had been happy, but when did he discover true happiness? He discovered the true happiness when he actually became contented. And when was that? When was it when he became contented? It was only when the swallow helped him in carrying out the his messages, and working for him, helping people out. And both of them were contented with each other, as well as for the doing good for the world. So this is the answer for you. So I hope this will help you, and definitely you will be able to frame out even better answers. So these are nothing but, I have just compiled all the stories that I told you right now. So I hope you have enjoyed the lesson. You have enjoyed the beautiful story by Oscar Wilde, and please do comment. Don't forget to hit the like button, and do comment and stay subscribed for the notifications. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye. See you all.